So, where have we got to? First, we did the long march through the creation of a centralized state, and then posed the question, why doesn't that happen everywhere? It sounded to be a process that, the drumbeat of building the centralized state seemed to suggest that it was a process that had to happen everywhere. Clearly hasn't happened everywhere, and so we looked to see what might prevent that process continuing. And now we've looked at an inclusive state, and we can pose the same question. If we look around the world, very obviously, not all states are inclusive states. And so we must ask, why is that the case? Why has that passage to an inclusive state not happened? And I think we're going to find two big, broad reasons that explain why some states never make it through to being inclusive. And one is very straightforward. It's where repression is just too successful. We've known, through history, there are examples of where the repressive state can be very effective in keeping protest at bay. The costs of protest are made so high, it's the police state. And police states can be pretty stable. They're extremely nasty, they're extremely expensive for the state to run. But if it's got enough resources and devotes enough resources to that, it works. An example of that at the moment is North Korea. The other reason, a little bit less straightforward, it's where the payoffs to keeping the state as a redistributive state, one where the benefits accrue to the people in power and their patronage system, it's where those benefits are very big relative to the benefits of going for the inclusive strategy, growth for all. And maybe a modern example of that, where the payoffs to redistribution towards the elite are very high relative to the payoffs for trying to run the economy in a way that benefits all. I think of Angola, where it's an oil economy. It could be a more prosperous economy where oil did what it's done in Norway and lift the whole economy up because it's well used. In Angola, that hasn't been the strategy. The strategy has been to use these huge oil rents to benefit a minority, which is the elite in the patronage system. And so I think that's an example where the payoffs immediately to redistribution are huge. The payoffs to the long-term strategy of getting Angola to be an economy that grows towards a modern economy are much longer term, and for the elite itself, too difficult to bother with.